Alright, guys. I am frigid right now. I am like shivering my butt off. You can see the morning dew on the windows. It is about, let me see if I can get the heat to kick on. It is about 6:37 in the morning. All I'm thinking about is going back to bed. All I want to do in reality is sleep. All I need right now is sleep. I went to bed early after legs yesterday, and I'm dedicating myself to a new schedule where I lift in the mornings rather than at night because I was running out of time at night. But this sucks. Straight up, this is like, it straight up is terrible. Like, I hate, not that I hate getting up early, but when things are a walk along a college campus and it is a crisp 38 degrees in the morning and I'm wearing a thin shirt and I can see my breath and it's only fall, it's just a lot. Walking to the car is a lot. I'm trying to get this heat going as best as possible, but it might take a second. I got up, I had a banana for breakfast for some leg recovery before I start into this target muscles day. The gym opens at 7, so I've still got about 20 minutes. It's almost 6:40. Sorry. You guys are seeing the real exposed morning me. I got up, I ate breakfast. I haven't stretched or anything yet, but I didn't want to wake my roommate up or bother him. So most of that stuff is going to be going on in the gym. Stretching, doing my ab roller, how I normally would. I guess if I was in a dorm by myself or something, I'd be able to do this stuff more easily. But for now, it's just going to have to be a little different. I'm just kind of at a loss. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm cold, I'm feeling the force of all my decisions, but I looked at my clock and my alarm when it went off this morning and I was like, there's been so many times where I've tried to wake up early, but I haven't committed to it. I've looked at that clock and I've been like, it's so much easier to go back to bed. And it is so much easier to go back to bed, but in reality, I need the structure of getting up early, and I want to hit all of my lifts, and in order to do that, I need to be able to go and have a good, decent bit of time and not be rushed at night or not skip lifts or something. I want to be able to hit everything. And the current way of doing things, how I was before, just wasn't cutting it. It wasn't what I needed, you know. I needed more than just going at night. I needed that kick in the pants to actually get me out of bed, actually get me to a spot where I wasn't just I wasn't just not trying anything, you know. I actually really want to get to a place where I can wake up and go to bed early and commit time to my classes and commit time to the gym and commit time to everywhere where I'm like, okay, I am productive and I feel like this is good. Like, sorry, I'm saying like too many times because I'm tired, and that's what my body tends to do, is go to filler words to kind of help me out with forming sentences when I have nothing in my brain. But I want to be in a place where I can actively feel proud of what my schedule looks like, and actively feel, I guess, content would be the right word, with just like how I'm spending my time. I'm not screwing around on my phone. I'm waking up early and I'm on the grind. I'm prepared and I'm ready for what's to come. And I'm knocking things out early in the day and I'm feeling productive. And after the gym, I have that boost of serotonin and that boost of all the natural chemicals in my body that are preparing me and getting me ready for just the school day in general. I get more hyped for classes if I'm focused more and kind of more prepared and more ready for everything. That being said, it is a struggle with this being the first day that I've ever done a morning lift here. Even with going to bed, you have that moment where you look at the clock and you say to yourself, I don't want to do this. Just straight up, I don't want to sacrifice the comfort and ease I had before. And it's something that really feels awful. It really feels soul-sucking to have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning when you were getting up at 9:30 or getting up at 8:30 or 9 before. Like, that is a drastic change, and that is something that not a whole lot of people would be prepared for, you know? It's not, like, it doesn't feel, you're never going to be ready for that change, you know? It's something that you just have to wake up one day and do, and keep doing, and that's much easier said than done, very obviously. Yet, it is just what it is. It is something you have to stay consistent with, and something you have to continually push past in order to, I guess, be content with what you want. If you have ideals and you have ways you want to change, the main way you're going to get anywhere is by actively pursuing that change. You can't just talk about what you feel like doing. You actually have to go through with everything and do it. It's kind of sad that in this metaphor, in this like motivational thing, I'm sounding like the just do it guy. But that ultimately is the end of the day, the kind of line you're going to look at between people that are successful and people that are not successful. It's not preparing, it's not thinking about something, it's not planning, it's not writing out on sticky notes or on lined paper or on a graph, charting all these things. Those are great it's great to prepare and it's great to have analysis, but how are you going to do those things if you don't actually have a step of your process where you're doing something, where you're actually going to the gym, where you're actually waking up early? What do you have to do analysis on if you're not having a bunch of continual lifts in a row? It's kind of something you have to come to terms with, and it's something you're gonna have to kind of just think about. Be like, okay, why am I actually procrastinating this? Why is this actually important to me? What makes a difference by doing this change? And why am I not doing it when I want to do it? You know, just some personal questions to ask yourself. I'm well heated up, so getting out of this car is going to be a struggle. But I'm going to make the voyage, the trek over there in about 10 minutes. And I'll see you guys in the gym, post-stretch, post-everything. Okay, so it's definitely really quiet. Coming to the gym while it's really early. It was just pretty good so far. I haven't really stretched, but I'm just gonna go in no stretch and kind of have a post stretch and then post ab roller while I'm talking about some different stuff. So for the first thing, we're doing dumbbell shoulder press, 40s for 11 reps, and then 35 for 15 reps, and then 12 reps for the last 2 sets. Okay, music turned on, so it's definitely a little more vibey. The bad haircut I have going on is definitely not the move. But it's okay, I couldn't really brush it much this morning. Maybe it'll look different after a shower. But I'm gonna go ahead and do 35-15. This is the set where I have the most reps, focusing on volume. Lots of arm popping. Okay, last set. Only doing this last one for 12. Not really focused on volume. Just focus more on the cleanness of my reps. Dude, my shoulder's on fire now from that. Okay, for close grip, lat pull down, everything's gonna be in 12s, but first set is gonna be 130. Trying to push 130 to every single set, but at least for now, just gonna take it slow and only push up 2 reps. I did 10 reps of 130 last time, so just focusing on the stretch like I always do with lats. My grip felt really kind of shaky on that rep. I don't know why. All right, 12 more reps, but drop down to 125. The early morning stretch on the lats is lethal. I feel like the fibers in it are like getting torn apart. All right, last set. I'm kind of feeling something like right above my right rear delt. I don't know why that got activated when I was doing lat raises. I don't think it's really supposed to target that entirety of your back unless you're doing it more in like a row form, but maybe I'm pulling something I didn't even know I had. But regardless, last set is still 12 reps. All right, close grip is done. Well, gave my grip no time to catch its breath, aside from walking between one workout to the other. I'm, gosh, my hair's rough. I'm transitioning into farmer's walks and doing that for 3 sets. And same as always, I'll let you guys know how it goes afterwards. Okay, so my arms, my forearms are especially tired. You can tell by the way I can't really stabilize the camera that it was good. I didn't do as well as last time. I had to drop the weight a lot more, but I don't know if that's because I did a different timing of my sets this time, or if it's just the morning and my arms aren't awake. Either way, it probably wasn't as good as last time, but I'm still satisfied with completing it all the way and doing 35 for every single set rather than dropping weight. So Yeah, now we're gonna move on to lateral raises. Okay, for cable lateral raises, we're going 19 for 10 reps, 19 for 7 reps, moving up from 5 reps, and then 17 and a half for 10 reps. I was looking kind of back on my log for cable lateral raises, and it says I've dropped some since I focused more on form than like going for high reps. And I'm proud of how that's been going, but overall I get less weight moved, but I feel more good strain on my shoulders, like I'm able to handle more weight as I'm doing the cable lateral raises, and I think that's kind of more important. I've also noticed that my form, I go above like the top of the movement sometimes on it. So today I'm just gonna try to go just straight parallel at my shoulder and not try to go like over, because once you go over, physics wise, there's nothing left to gain from the movement. Like there's nothing that you grow once you go past the top of the equilibrium of your shoulder. So yeah, let's do 19 for 10 first. My balance definitely fell off on that last one. I didn't mean to fall over, but it just is what it is. Okay, transitioning now to just 7 reps, not the full 10 reps, focusing on good tension and trying to keep it the same as the last time. I looked back at the footage and it looked really good. It definitely felt much easier than I thought it would. Okay, so I feel like I might be underestimating myself based off of last set with how much I realistically can do. Gosh, that was a voice crack and a half. How much I can realistically do with cable lateral raises, even with like still good form. I think I was going way past and doing like bad form in a good way, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't getting anything from extending my arm all the way up to my head, but it was more like I got what I needed out of the movement. I was just going a little extra for kind of no reason, for no like gain or benefit. So maybe I can bump it up next time and do a lot more than I think I can. But for now, just gonna do 17 and a half and keep on track with what I was going to do before. And then next workout, I'll push a lot more. I moved fast, but still good benefit out of that. Okay, and now we come to split squats. I realized, like, when I was going back and looking at video footage and going back and kind of watching videos of how to do split squat effectively, I realized I was raising my back leg. I wasn't setting it straight with my body, and I'm kind of too short to use a bench as a stabilizer. So now I'm gonna use the end of this ab machine because it's like on par with the bench, but it's shorter, and it allows me it curves to my foot. So I'm gonna use that for the back leg stability while I'm loading most of the weight onto my front leg, which is kind of how it should be. But before I was loading onto my back and onto my back leg, which is not how it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna try to correct it and go up from 11 reps to 12 reps with the 45s. Okay, that definitely felt loaded in the correct way. Yeah, I can still feel it a bit in my lower back, but I can't tell if it's lower back or butt because it is a hard glute exercise, so I'll keep doing it that way. All right, 12 more reps, reloaded, kind of reloading the weight so it's not so much on my back. I'm gonna try to go straight up and down more than I was before. definitely feels like it's less of like my legs working more than my breath. Like I feel like I can't catch any air as I'm going down and up compared to how I normally would in the middle squat. Okay, I gave myself a lot of rest and a lot of time to think it over of how I'm gonna conquer this last set, because I had to take a break once I reached like 10 or 11 on that last set. So I think I'm gonna break it down into 2 things of 6. Like I'm gonna go right leg 6 reps, left leg 6 reps, and then right leg and then left. And I might have rest in between that middle section, but it's just so I can get as much out of the lift as possible without passing out, really, because I'm still kind of out of breath, even though I had good time to catch it with my rest period. But all right, here we go. Okay, if not a little shaky, I still managed to do it. God, 6 reps, and then 4, and then 2 to get all 12 reps. I am freaking dying. I need to go get a shower. Well, I can say 2 things about today's workout. Number 1, that my brakes are really creaky today. I don't know if you can hear that in the video. Why are you doing that? It's kind of freaky. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Sorry for the distractions. If there's 2 things I can say about today's workout, it is, number 1, that is probably one of the hardest mental fortitude defying lifts I've experienced as of late. And number 2, I am definitely not moving up in split squats next workout, that's for sure. If you go back in the video and watch, it's actually funny because I look terrified. Like, I look like I just saw a deep dark monster under the bed or something. Like, it is actually funny how scared I look while doing split squats. And as I was kind of noticing that, I thought back to a video I saw the other day, and it was by this one fitness guy. He was looking at all these other fitness influencers videos, and they were talking about how a hard heavy squat or how a really tough loaded bench gets them like kind of quaking in their boots, gets them like that nervous rush that makes them love the gym so much. And they're like, it's that fear, like right before a heavy lift, like, oh no, I could drop this, or oh no, this is past my limits. Like, the moment before you break past your limits, how invigorating that is for them. But this dude was like going on and saying that if you're not nervous before your lifts, like at least some of your lifts, some of the time, like maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks or something, that you're not pushing your training intensity hard enough. Now, that really caused me to question some things, because he was very adamant about his position. He was like, look, if you're not doing this and this, you're not training hard enough. You're not pushing yourself to true failure. But I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, is that true? Do you really need to go into like a lift and be nervous all the time about like everything? Just like, do you really need to be scared before you're going to the gym? Because isn't that what turns people away from the gym? Isn't being fearful a bad thing? And this guy was very, very much so in the camp of saying like, no, that being fearful actually helps you. But when I was thinking about it, I was really having to dig deep. But if you think about it, today's kind of a prime example of where his philosophy works. Like, nervous, I'm going to coin the phrase nervous lifting. I don't know if anyone has come up with that before, or if that's actually some type of science term already, but the idea that as you're getting ready to prepare for a lift, your body is like, heck no, I am not doing this. Is that a helpful measure of success? Is that something that you want to tell you that your training intensity is good? Today, at the very beginning of the lift, early in the morning, something I had never done before while I've been at college, something that pushed me outside of my comfort zone, something that I'm like, wow, this sucks. So, I need to get the condensation off my window. But something that I'm like, this is a lot. And I was scared. You can see it in my face. I'm like, it's nerve-wracking to me to be trying to conquer such a big thing. You can see it as I'm like talking about having to stretch, having to get up and make sure I'm not like disturbing my roommates and stuff. You can see it as I get down and prepared for split squats, as I'm like, oh crap, I don't know if I can do this or not. Like, it is total Sorry, I'm having to try and parallel park and I'm doing a bad job. It is that total sensation of like, oh my God, like in my face. It's so visible. And it's something where like, it's not, God, I'm horrible at parallel parking. Okay. It's something where you just can't just magically get past it. It's a barrier that you have to overcome in your mind, and it's not something that you can just shrug off, you know? It's not something where it's really easy. It's not a lift where you can just be like, okay, yeah, I can do this and I can work my way up to things. Okay. Third time's the charm, maybe? I am very bad at parallel parking. I just discovered this. I used to be good at it before my driving test, but maybe I'm not exactly up to snuff anymore. I'm trying to like snipe my spot here. Okay. Readjust. Okay. I think this might be good enough if I really think about it. If I can actually snipe it out. Okay. I'm gonna say that this is good enough. I think I did a good enough parallel park job. Yeah. Maybe a bit out there, but this works. Sorry I had to focus. Just thinking about it, like, nervous lifting. Is that real? Is that something you should chase in your workouts? I don't think it is necessarily something that you should want for every single one of your lifts. I don't think it's something that you should be like, I need to be scared every time I go into a lift. I need to push back my fears. I need to be a different person. No. You want the gym to be enjoyable. But I think in order to have an enjoyable experience that promotes growth, you have to challenge yourself and be nervous. Don't be scared to be nervous. I was beyond nervous for trying new split squat techniques today, for getting up early and trying a morning lift and having to like break past the morning cold. Like everything hurt. This was like a battle today. I know I had one of my videos before called War. This probably felt more of a war than that was, because you're fighting this discomfort. It's scary to go against discomfort, to go against the grain, and you're like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. But once you make it out to the other side, like, I feel really good. I feel like I'm going to have a great day today. And I feel like the fear I had to harness and become able to deal with this morning is a good thing for me. But I think nervous lifting is a question you're going to have to ask yourself, because some people thrive off of that primal fear and that rush, like all the fitness influencers that are like, oh my God, so much adrenaline built up in my body from having to conquer that. But some people, they don't want that adrenaline. Some people want to go into the gym and be able to have like nice relaxing time, do some cardio, watch some shows while they're doing it, do light reps of everything while jamming out to some music. And I respect that 100% of the time. Like, you got to do what's best for you. But if I'm really brutally honest about what probably promotes the most growth, at least in my case, and what I think would be the best amount for people, I think you should have at least 1 to 2 bare minimum movements in your plan per week where you're like, I am nervous about this. Not scared, not like I can't do this, I can't even load this up on the bar, but those ones right before, where you're just like, like you can hear in my videos, I sigh and prepare a lot before my list, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a lot. It's how I feel with split squats. It's how I feel with back squats. It's how I feel with, I'd say farmer's walks. It's how I feel with just any given movement if I'm going up. I felt it kind of with shoulders today, with shoulder press. I kind of feel it sometimes with lateral raises. I kind of feel it with bench. I feel it with a lot of things depending on the time. But there is at least a good chance and good consistency that based off of what I'm doing, I feel a certain type of nervous lifting moment before I get launched into stuff. I'm sorry for all the yapping, but I feel like that's something new. That's something I hadn't really considered before. And looking back and kind of thinking about today, nervous lifting is what has my mind turning before I go to class, and my mind turns too much and I have to study and my mind overloads this afternoon. But today's Friday when I'm filming this, so the weekend is coming. So crazy that I decided at the end of the week I was going to get up and do all this stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching, for seeing me in a nervous state, for seeing me in a state where I'm freaking out, but in a state where it's growth nevertheless. Like, when I started this channel, that was the number one thing I wanted. I wanted to show you guys those awful moments where I have a bad haircut and I'm waking up early and I'm complaining and whining about the cold, but at the end I push through because I want to show you guys it is possible to push through and put yourself through crazy trials and come out the other side a better, happier, stronger person. So again, thanks for everything. Today's probably going to be a long video, I'm kind of thinking, but I enjoyed it. It was a good target muscle stay. So I'll see you guys in another video, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.